Okay, sometimes it's necessary to change the scale of an axis. So at the moment, the scale for our primary axis, the one that rainfall is plotted against, is from 0 to 300. Now, if you look at the values, they go from 0 to 240. So we've actually, there's quite a difference in the value, the maximum value that we have in our scale. So we can adjust that. So maybe I'll reduce that to 250 because I really don't need any more than that. So that's the reason you might adjust the scale. And I'm going to do the same for the secondary axis, the one for average temperature, because also that doesn't really represent the data very well either. So as you can see, the average temperature is it starts a bit further up because we have -5 on our scale, and it actually begins at -1 in the actual data. So I'm just going to adjust both of those. And to do this, you just click on the axis and right click and go to format axis, and then you'll see it will open this window. You've got axis options here. Now you'll see the values that are currently set. So we've got the minimum for this axis is 0 and the maximum is 300, and then the major unit means that it's going up in increments of 50, which you can see, which the increments of 50 I think is fine actually. I just want to change the maximum to 250. So I'm going to change that to fixed, and then I can actually just type in here what I want to put in. So that's it for that one. Okay, so it's made a slight adjustment to that one now. Now the secondary one I also want to do the same to, so I'm going to adjust that to maybe -2 by 24. We want to keep it just outside of the actual data values. So again, format axis, and I'm going to change the minimum to -2 and the maximum to 25 because we don't need the extra. And I'm actually going to change the increments to 2 as well, so they go up in increments of 2 as opposed to 5, because it doesn't really work with the new scale that we've put in if it goes up in increments of 5. So increments of 2 makes more sense. And I'll just close that, and you'll now see how the chart's now been adjusted according to represent our values a bit better. The other thing that you would want to do with your chart is to make sure you've labelled both axes properly, and you do it the same as you would any other chart. So in layout, you've got axis titles, and what you'll see is you've got the secondary axis and the primary axis. So if I go to primary vertical axis, I can add that in. So for that one, we want to write in there something like cumulative rainfall in millimeters. And then for the other one, so let's just put that in. Again, that's the secondary vertical one, and I'm going to use the same. Is it this one I used? I think so. Okay, and then we just put in average temperature in there. And again, so there, it just makes your chart a lot clearer. We also want to put in a proper title for this. So I'll go to chart title and put in a chart title here, and I'm going to put in comparison of rainfall and temperature in town A. Okay, so I probably want to adjust that a little bit so that the A is up here, or I can make that smaller maybe. Should be able to adjust that in, but I'll just adjust it from the corners maybe. So that's how you would do that.